All right, if you're studying engineering or you're in a technical trade, I want you to see this as more than just another module. Think of this as a look into your future. We're going to pull back the curtain on what it really takes to be the person running the show, the one in charge of the places where everything gets designed, built, and shipped out the door.
And I'm asking you that for real. Because the jump from being the person who can fix any machine on the floor to being the person responsible for the entire floor, well, it's huge. It's a totally different mindset. And that's exactly what we're going to get into today.
Yeah, you need to forget that image of a factory as this perfectly oiled machine, you know? The reality? It's a living, breathing system that's always kind of on the edge of chaos. You've got unexpected breakdowns, surprise shipping delays, quality control nightmares. That is the day-to-day. And your job? You're the one who has to step right into that storm and create order.
Now, to bring that order, you first have to understand the basic DNA of pretty much any factory out there. It's called the production system. And at its heart, it's all about one really powerful transformation, turning a pile of raw stuff into valuable finished products that people want.
It really just breaks down into three main stages. First, you've got your inputs. That's your raw materials, sure, but it's also your team's skills, your machines, and all that critical info. Then comes the magic, right? The conversion process. This is where the manufacturing actually happens. And finally, you get the outputs, the shiny, finished goods that your customers are waiting for. Simple concept, but managing that flow, well, that's the real trick.
And that is exactly where operations management comes in. Look, if the factory is an orchestra, the operations manager, you're the conductor. You're not playing the violin or the drums, you're coordinating everything, the resources, the timing, the process, to make sure that final piece of music is absolutely perfect.
So how do you actually conduct this whole orchestra? Well, you need a framework, a simple but really powerful toolkit to help guide your decisions. We're going to look at what's called the 4 Ps of production management. Let's break them down.
First up, your plant. This is the physical space, the machines, all the hardware. Next, your processes. This is the how, the step-by-step workflows that actually turn inputs into outputs. Then your programs. Now this is the strategic stuff, your schedules, your inventory plans. And finally, and this is maybe the most important one, your people, the skilled team that makes it all happen. If you can get these 4 things right, you are in control.
Okay, theory is great and all, but let's get practical. How do you actually use these tools to make those tough, everyday decisions that are going to make or break you on the factory floor?
Believe it or not, one of the most critical decisions you'll ever be a part of happens before a single product is even built. And that's the physical layout of your plant. Seriously, how you arrange your space and equipment is going to affect everything. Efficiency, safety, you name it, for years to come.
Choosing the right layout really depends on what you're making. I mean, if you're churning out thousands of the same phone, a product layout, an assembly line, is going to be the most efficient. But what if you're a custom job shop? Then a process layout where all the drills are in one spot and all the welders are in another gives you that flexibility. And hey, if you're building something massive, like an airplane, you can't exactly move it down a line, right? So you use a fixed position layout where you bring all the tools and people to the product.
All right, new scenario. Your layout is perfect, production is humming along, and then, bam, your most critical machine goes down. The whole line just stops. What do? See, this isn't just a technical problem anymore. It's a full-blown management crisis.
As a manager, you are constantly weighing this trade-off. On one side, you have the planned, predictable costs of proactive maintenance, a little bit of scheduled downtime, some replacement parts. But on the other side, you have the chaotic, insane cost of a full breakdown, lost production, angry customers, huge emergency repair bills. A smart manager knows that 1 hour of planned maintenance today can save you a week of disaster tomorrow.
Okay, so we've covered the plant and the processes, but let's talk about the most important P, people. Because how you design a task for a human is just as critical as how you design the layout for a bunch of machines.
This quote right here, this is the heart of ergonomics. It just means you don't force a person to adapt to a badly designed job. That's how you get mistakes and injuries. Instead, you design the job itself to fit the person. The comfortable grip on a power drill, that's ergonomics. It's all about working smarter, not just pushing people to work harder.
So, why are we talking about all this stuff? Layouts, maintenance, ergonomics. It's because understanding these concepts is what's going to elevate you. It's the difference between being a great technician who can do the work and being a great leader who can manage the work.
And a huge part of that leadership is getting beyond just reacting to today's problems. It's about strategic planning.
And that brings us to our last P, programs. This is about looking weeks, months, maybe even years down the road. And a perfect example of this is how you manage your inventory.
You know, keeping stock isn't just about having a warehouse full of stuff. It is a strategic weapon. You hold inventory so you can always meet customer demand. You use it to keep your production lines running smoothly, even when sales go up and down. And it protects you from sudden part shortages or price hikes. It's your buffer against that chaos we talked about at the beginning.
So as we start to pull all these threads together, the plant, the processes, the people, the programs, you can start to see this bigger picture emerging. This knowledge isn't just another set of technical skills you're learning.
It's about leadership. It's about having the vision to design a smart layout, the foresight to manage maintenance and inventory, and yeah, the empathy to design work that empowers your people. That is what's going to make you an effective, respected leader on the factory floor and anywhere else you go. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. When you finally walk onto that factory floor as the manager, with all the challenges and all the opportunities right there in front of you, what's the first problem you'll solve?